Hey everyone, so today I just want to talk about something that's pretty serious, right? It's a really serious topic, but it's something that I just feel that I want to address. And that is whether eating disorders and whether mental illness in general is a choice. And I'm in a really, really good position in which to address this because not only have I suffered with an eating disorder pretty much my whole life, but I spent 3 full years in a psychiatric hospital. It was not an eating disorder specific treatment centre, it was a general psychiatric hospital. So there were people with a whole range of psychiatric illnesses in there. And it was a very harrowing experience. It was a very difficult experience, but it was 3 years of my life where I saw things and I experienced things that some people, most of you watching, will never ever experience or never ever understand. And trust me, that's not a bad thing. That's probably a good thing because I still I still have like wake up at night sometimes because I've had nightmares that go back to some of the things that I saw and I experienced whilst I was in that hospital. It was hard. It was hard, but like I say, I'm grateful for the experience because now I have so much insight into what mental illness actually is, what it looks like, and what it can do. And when I see people or hear people saying that mental illness is a choice, it really it rubs me up the wrong way, and that's understatement of the century. I want to punch the lights out. I really do. Sorry for being so aggressive, but I really just want to take them and shove them in that hospital that I spent 3 years in and make them watch, make them observe what mental illness really does to you. And I guess when I say the thing is when I was in that hospital for eating disorder, there's not a drug that you can take. Food is your medicine. Whereas a lot of these other illnesses that people were in there with, actually they were drugged up a lot of the time as well. And the good thing, the good thing about me being like completely aware was that I got to observe all this stuff, and I remember everything so clearly. My awareness was like, whoa. So if anything, it was like an education for me. It was like a 3 year university degree in psychology and mental health in a way. Um, People that say that it's a choice have no idea. It's complete and utter ignorance on their part, and it's disgusting. It just disgusts me. Now, obviously, there's a whole range of different and complex mental illnesses, and I came across people with so many of them. And you know, I would walk into one of the bathrooms, and I would see someone sitting there. They'd managed to sneak in a razor blade, and they'd be sitting like slitting their wrists. Right? I witnessed that. Sometimes I would walk into a room or a bathroom and then I'd get shouted, "Get out, Lauren, get out!" And there'd be these huge male nurses restraining one little tiny girl. Imagine scenes from The Exorcist. That's what it was like. That's what it was like. And I'd walk into stuff like that in reality. I'd get wakened up at night with old women in the ward like beside us. It was like the kind of for older people. And I'd wake up with this one woman, Lizzie. She'd be screaming the place down. Old Lizzie, everyone knew her. She used to. The thing is, it was the typical psychiatric, stereotypical building, like an old castle. That's what it looked like, and so there was all this screaming coming from it, and this old woman Lizzie used to walk about in her pyjamas and slippers all day and come banging at your window and all this stuff. And in a way, it was like, it's kind of funny in some ways looking back. And little old Lizzie, she was like the character. But, you know, I'd get wakened up even with people in my ward, some of the kids, you know, screaming. And like I say, it's had an effect on me that will never ever leave me. I would see like people with really severe OCD would come in, and one of the guys I remember, they used to lock the male bathrooms so that he couldn't get in because he washed his hands so much. You know, people with OCD do that. And then one day I walked into the female bathroom, and obviously they hadn't locked the female bathroom, but he'd got in there and he was scrubbing his hands and the skin was all off them. There was blood everywhere and he was crying and he just looked at me and he just said, I can't get clean, I can't get clean, I can't get clean. And he was and I was like, oh my God. I was just so, it was so disturbing to see this poor guy, and he had no choice. He was being driven to do that. Do you think he wanted to? Do you think it was his choice? His choice in the moment to go and scrub the skin off of his hands? No, it wasn't. If he had the power, if it was a case of, am I going to go and wash my hands and scrub all the skin off them? Or, no, I'm not. That would be silly. Of course, because these are not logical. These are not things that you can just turn on and off. They require so much therapy. They require so much help. They are not a fucking choice in the moment. It's not the same as being like, what are we going to watch on Netflix tonight? That's a fucking choice. What a lot of these people are going through is not a choice. Not a conscious choice anyway. Sure, it's something that they have to work on, but it's not as simple as saying it's a choice. And anyone that says that is completely undermining the suffering that people with mental illness and psychological illnesses go through. Not only is that like just disrespectful towards them, but the fact is that there's so much stigma surrounding mental illness. Right, there is still so much stigma surrounding it, and people that don't understand just think that we're mad. You know, they think people with eating disorders just starve to be skinny, right? They think that people are just fucking psychos, right? We need to. There's a movement out here trying to break the stigma of mental illnesses and show that they are really, really serious, right? And when people say that they're just a choice in the moment, that undermines that. And the work that people like myself and other people like in the mental health movement, the work that we are trying to do to get mental illnesses to be taken seriously so that more money can get put in towards treatment and things, and just so that we can help people more. Right? That's damaging that mindset of, oh, it's just a choice, no, it's you're in control. That completely damages that. Do you have any idea how difficult it actually is for example, eating disorders to actually get taken seriously and get a place in a specialist eating disorder unit? It's pretty much fucking impossible. You need to basically be a skeleton. You basically need to be dying of heart failure on your deathbed to actually get into eating disorder treatment. That's how bad it is. And the thing is, at that point, it's too late, because it's been proven time and time again that the most effective way to treat eating disorders and to improve the prognosis and to help people get better is early intervention. Now, wait until someone has a BMI of 11 or 12 and pretty much on their deathbed. That's not early intervention, you know. That's not prevention is cure. That's taking someone in as a last resort. And that is the reality of it. That is the reality of treatment. And it's sad and it needs to be changed. Right? So when people say things like eating disorders are a choice and completely just undermine everything about them, it's not on, it's damaging, and that's what makes me so, so angry about it. I've had some of the people that I was actually in treatment with have died. They've died from their mental illness, whether that be suicide or, you know, overdosing on drugs or heart failure. And these people, they didn't choose to die. They were my friends. We used to sit in the common room and play games together and laugh at things on the telly. You get a glimpse at the person beyond the illness. And they didn't choose. They didn't choose to have that illness. They didn't choose to die. But they did. They did. They died. Now, I'm sorry, this has obviously not been one of my more light-hearted videos, but it had to be addressed. So thanks for watching, guys. Because like I say, one of the things that I want to do is raise awareness and target bullshit. So thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.